Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Hotter Than Hell podcast. This is your last stop on the crazy train of hard rock and heavy metal. So sit back, buckle in, and hang on. Here we go.
Hello out there, you Potter Than Hellions. Welcome to the Potter Than Hell podcast. This is Steve. I am your host, and I am joined, as always, by
BC
and
BB.
And our keyboard player is
Dylan.
And we have a special guest host this evening, Stephen Michael, who is pinch hitting for us this evening. And hey, Stephen, how are you?
What's up, fellas?
Nothing. How's things down south there?
Everything's good. We're getting ready for the holidays.
Good. So are we. And we'll wish you an early Merry Christmas and lovely wife Jennifer there, and I hope you guys are doing good for the holiday season.
Looking forward to spending time with the family.
All right, so are we. So before we get going crazy here, Stephen, just tell us what's up with your podcast. Give it a plug here and tell us what's up with you and Sonny.
Growin Up Rock is moving right along just like normal. We're gearing up and getting ready to put together a game plan for the Vinnie Vincent Kiss Expo at the end of January 20th. So we've got a table there. We'll be recording a bunch of content. So it's all good. We're looking forward to working on that, basically. Of course, like every other podcast, we'll be releasing the best of 2017 because that's how we roll.
Yeah, we're working on a similar type episode for the end of the year, and hopefully we're gonna get that done within the next couple weeks or so. So we should be good for the end of the year. And all right, before we get rolling here, a couple quick news tidbits here. The guitar player singer for the Queens of the Stone Age, Josh Homme.
Yeah.
On the stage while they're playing a song, he walks by and he kicks this photographer's camera and hits her in the face, and he just kind of saunters back across the stage, and like it never happened. Did you guys check that out at all or no?
I watched it last night too. You talking about that, but who are the Queens of the Stone Age?
Queens of the Stone Age.
Who are they?
They're a pretty good band. They're more
I
on
heard
the
the
alternative
name.
side than
Yeah,
rock.
Didn't David Grohl used to be the drummer?
Yeah,
or
Dave
something?
Grohl drummed on an album for them.
Like their
and,
first one when they first came out?
Yeah, it wasn't their first one. It was maybe their third one.
Okay.
It was when he was kind of in a tiff with the Foo Fighters, but it's a good album. And I like the band, the Queens of the Stone Age, but this is kind of a disheartening thing to see.
So I guess he did it on purpose? So I didn't see the video.
He just kind of walked across and bang, he walked past her, then he walked back, and then just boom, kicked her camera, and I guess her camera hit her in the face.
He actually issued an apology as well.
Yeah, I saw that. He was like all all apologetic, trying in damage control mode. Steven, did you check any of that out?
I did not. I didn't see any of that going on. I'm not a huge Queen of the Stone Age fan, so.
No, we're really not either. Actually, I was talking to Dylan yesterday about reviewing, checking out their album for our year-end thing, and I saw that, and I was like, after that, nah, fuck those guys.
Fuck that.
Tell us how you really feel.
All right, and I feel bad for the girl. It's not like she was someone that, jumped on the stage to, hug him or anything like that, and he just walked by and casually kicked her in the face. We don't condone any kind of violence like that, but I just wanted to bring it up just to say that it's a really strange world out there, even in the world of rock and roll. And one more thing that we will do is the Dead Daisies. Dean Castronovo is now the drummer of the Dead Daisies. He is of Saints fame, and great drummer, great vocalist. And Steven, you know a little bit about these guys.
I love it. Love the Dead Daisies. I love Revolution Saints. I would love to see like a Revolution Saints Dead Daisies tour. That'd be awesome.
Oh, that'd kick ass.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so Brian Tishy, he's an accomplished musician. A lot of people don't know that, think he's just a dumb drummer, but that guy's a really, really good musician. So he probably had many, many other opportunities, and just it was time for him to move on and work on some of those other opportunities. So I guess Dean had the connection with Doug Aldridge, and they brought him into the Daisies.
Well, I heard also news that Brian Tichy was joining Foreigner on as their 40th anniversary tour.
Oh, really?
I did hear
that'd be
something
cool. Because actually,
what's his name is doing? Jason Bonham is.
he's doing the Led Zeppelin
He's
experience.
doing the Led
with
Zeppelin
them.
experience now, and then they just announced that Foreigner's coming to
The Sands.
the Sands.
I saw that, yeah.
February.
March, I think.
March, somewhere
March,
in
that's
there.
right. It's the day before the Judas Priest concert that we're going to. So we're looking forward to seeing Dean there. Actually, we met Brian Tishy a couple of years ago. He sat in on the drums for Simon Wright with it was Queensryche at the time for Jeff Tate's version. I don't think it was called Mindcrime at that time. No. We saw them do the whole Mindcrime album. Brian Tishy drummed for them that day. He was
I thought it was
really
called
cool.
Wright Queens. Wasn't it Wright Queens?
No.
No, I'm joking.
No.
Of course it wasn't Wright Queens.
I know.
Who would name their band that?
Who would name them Queensryche?
Stop it.
Jeff Tate.
I got a long show with me and Dylan today back and forth here. I don't know. I'm just predicting. All right, we got that out of the way. Let's talk about real quick what we're all listening to right now. Steven, we'll let you go first. Our guy that's helping us out tonight. What are you currently listening to?
I am listening to Bigfoot, band out of England. You guys familiar with them?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
That record was really, really good.
Did you hear any of their 2 EPs? Actually.
Oh yeah, I haven't messed with any of that stuff. I've just been listening to the latest thing.
Check out those EPs though. Very good.
I will for sure. I've been digging on that and just spending a lot of time on Spotify discovering new bands that I've been listening to. So that's really it. Digging into some old classics. I listened to Kiss Alive 2 the other day just for the hell of it. So
Hey, you can't go wrong with that.
you know how it is. Nope.
Absolutely.
No.
BB, how about you?
Prepping for the show, give you guys an early heads up of what the show is about. I've been listening to Guns N' Roses' Chinese Democracy. I was never a big, humongous Guns N' Roses fan, so this album coming in was just another album, but it's really grown on me. It's a totally different vibe of normal Guns N' Roses. There's like violins, there's like choruses, a lot of synthesizers. Bumblefoot's guitar playing is amazing on it. And it seems like the last couple of days, that's all I've been listening to on my phone is Chinese Democracy. So there's a couple songs. There Was a Time, Better, and then Prostitute. Or 3 songs that stick out in my head now. But
You just like the name of the song.
well, that's true too. So that's
And
what's in my ear.
spending time.
What's that?
I said and spending time.
Dylan, what do you got going?
To get through finals week, I've been listening to an 80s playlist on Apple Music. And I've been getting into a little bit of Prince lately. Just checking him out. I've never really delved into his back catalog, but I was digging what I was hearing, so I just popped on Purple Rain and just went from there. 1999, I checked out just a lot of Prince. So
Okay.
figured,
That's all right.
yeah,
Hey, underrated guitar player.
absolutely.
Yeah, very. Yeah, really cool. I personally am, yesterday I listened to the album twice. Deep Purple's new album called Infinite. It's fucking great. That's the only way I can describe it. It's so good. People are, the whole band is fantastic. Ian Gillan sounds great, and Steve Morris on guitar, and it's still Roger Glover and Ian Pace and Don Airey on keyboards. Just a fantastic album. If you guys haven't checked it out, it's very good. It's produced by our buddy from Kiss, Bob Ezrin. He did not do to Deep Purple what he did with Kiss with The Elder. He actually kicked some ass. It's actually kind of like what he did with Revenge for Kiss. He kind of made it friggin' excellent.
So no Ian Gillan falsetto.
No Ian Gillan falsetto. Really, it's a great album. So if you guys out there want to check it out, check it out. All right, now that we, BC, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh, BC's
You know what?
here. Hey,
It threw
BC,
me off
thanks
when
for
you.
coming in today.
What's this podcast up against Irish people?
Well, I thought that's why you had the blank paper over there. I didn't think you fucking had anything. No, because you were talking with Steven about Bigfoot, and I got fucked
I
up.
was just
Sorry,
gonna-
my
My
bad.
Mind is like a steel trap.
I don't need to write stuff down no more.
Like Sonny, you're going.
I'm just
off
going
the cuff,
off
right?
the cuff. No, I got stuff written down to remind me. But up until 3:00 today, I've been really scoping out the Bigfoot until 3:00, and then since 3:00, I've been listening to the new. I don't know. It's more than it's better. It's
BC's putting his hands way high in the air, by the way.
It's almost off the scale.
We're audio only, BC.
I'm sorry. That's where I stand on it when I'm listening to it.
All right. This week, our topic is going to be Guns N' Roses. We haven't done a show on those guys yet, and we had the show planned for a couple weeks. We had another person ready to go to do this, and he was unable to make it, so Steven is pinch hitting tonight. And I got to say again, Steven, thank you for helping us out. He literally had 2 hours notice that we were recording this evening, and we really appreciate it. And what we're going to do is a former greatest hits album for Guns N' Roses. It's going to be a short album. It's going to be 10 songs with 2 bonus tracks, but everyone has to name their album. And we will do a couple songs at a time. We'll go first with the little general Guns N' Roses discussion. The current state of the band. What do you guys think about what they're doing now? I know BC's feelings on this, so we'll let you go first, BC.
I don't know. I understand. It's all about to my people out there are just about going back. But to me, it's not a reunion if it's not the original members. I'm sorry. I'm not saying nothing against the
They're all alive, too.
And they're all alive. It ain't like they're not playing. And they're calling it a reunion, Guns N' Roses reunion, but it's not, in my opinion. I'm sorry. I mean, their shows are great. Don't get me wrong. And they sound great, but it's not actual Guns N' Roses. I'm sorry.
Steven.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen the Not in This Lifetime tour. They're playing great. I mean, they sound great. I'm with BC along the lines of, I'd rather see Izzy and Adler back in it, but it is what it is. It's all about the money, right?
Yeah.
At the end of the day. Hey, for me, it's all about whether it sounds good or not, and they sounded amazing when I saw them, and I unfortunately saw them in a big Enormo Dome, which I would rather see them at least in an arena versus an Enormo Dome, but it was a pretty incredible show.
Where'd you see them, in Atlanta?
Yeah, I saw them at the Georgia Dome, which is no longer there anymore, of course.
Okay. BB.
I saw online the other day, they just ended their tour in LA, and they played for 4 hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was amazing. Eddie Trunk was talking about it the other day on Hair Nation, on his radio show. 4 hours for a set is amazing, and it's too bad they don't have like Steven there full time. I know he did play a couple songs on
early in the tour.
In the tour, he played a couple songs, but it's just unfortunate that they can't all get together. But like everybody else on the table said, the music still kicks ass.
I'm looking at the set list, and it's 37 songs they played at that show. Holy crap. That's a lot. There's a note for track number 6, Better. Axl asks crowd how they're doing and says it's good to be back so soon. So that's a great amount of information.
And that's kind of cool because that comes off the Chinese Democracy, so they are playing.
Yeah, they are. I know they're playing the title track.
Yeah,
they're playing a couple songs from there.
They're playing
a bunch of stuff off that record. I mean, they're covering records in the stuff they've been playing.
Man.
Yeah, they played in this show. They played 8 songs off Chinese Democracy. So that's the majority of the album.
Holy shit!
The only 2 albums, quote unquote, that they played more from were Appetite, and they did 9 covers. So.
Also.
Yeah.
And the spaghetti. Thingy.
That drives me crazy with bands doing so many covers. That drives me fucking insane.
Yeah, they do the Seeker.
You'll love it.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I'm with you guys on the. It's not a total reunion, and Steven, you brought up Izzy Stradlin. I just wanted to bring him up real quick, and I think he was the best writing partner in Guns N' Roses. That today, the live era, 87 and 93, that came out in 1999. I looked through all the songs on that, and Izzy is a co-writer on 15 out of the 22 songs on that album.
Oh, without a doubt.
And he's just, I think he is the missing cog in Guns N' Roses. I think he in a lot of the songs, not a lot of them, but a few of them, he's the sole writer on them, and not even the ones that he sings, like that aren't even on there, like 14 Years and stuff like that. But I think he was the perfect writing partner for Axl on there. He wrote more stuff with Axl than Slash ever did.
That was all about Axl, Izzy, and Wes Arkeem. You see his name in the credits as well. So Wes Arkeem was a Hollywood rat that lived in an apartment building that was shared with Duff and those guys, and they hung out and did a bunch of drugs and wrote songs. But that was the perfect writing team right there between those three guys for sure.
They were definitely, and and Izzy, and I hate how in the, I don't know what video was it, they have the sign "Where's Izzy?" We're on the rooftop or whatever. They're there, and it's the first time I think they ever see Gilby Clarke. And I think I don't know. I mean, I don't know what their parting was. I'm sure with Axl the way he was, it probably wasn't a great parting. But I would really love to see him back. And if Guns N' Roses gets back in the studio, I would, even if Izzy doesn't play with them in the band, I would really like to see him write with Axl again.
Yep.
So
Definitely.
yeah, and. Steven, what's your thoughts on Axl singing in AC/DC?
Yeah, I mean, he sounds good, but I'd rather have Axl be in Guns N' Roses and Brian Johnson be in AC/DC personally.
I agree. The main thing I like about Axl being in the band is he's kind of getting them to dig a little deeper track-wise live. He has them doing around a couple other songs that you haven't seen. Hell Ain't a Bad Place to Be, I think, is one of them. And a couple deeper tracks he has them playing, which I think is just fantastic. What do you guys think?
I like that. I'd rather them just, if they need to do away with Brian Johnson, do away with Brian Johnson. Go out and get some young guy that'll interject young energy into that band and let him dig for the deeper tracks. Hey, Dylan, did Guns N' Roses play any AC/DC at that LA show? I bet they did.
They played Whole Lotta Rosie, actually, yeah.
Yeah,
I've checked out the set list. They've been busting that out in probably almost every show. And sad to say, you're the only one on the podcast this week that has seen Guns N' Roses, the new version of it.
Even Carson.
I know my youngest son Carson, that is not really a fan of this music, actually saw them, which is hanging my head in shame.
So I've seen all forms of Guns N' Roses except for the Buckethead version.
Okay.
So I saw them in the original form back in the earliest of days, even when they weren't headlining, when they were opening up for Motley. I saw that tour. Then I saw them headline the Use Your Illusions. Then I saw the Bumblefoot and DJ Ashba, Richard Fortas version, and now I've seen this latest incarnation.
Yeah, I've seen the original Appetite for Destruction version. BC did too. We were at the same show. We weren't actually friends at the time, but we were both at that show. And BC, you've seen the one with DJ Ashba, that
DJ and those guys,
that group, the Axl coming on at midnight version.
Yeah, he came on literally 20 to 12.
3 hours after the opening band gets finished.
Be done at 4 o'clock.
Sebastian Bach came out, did his set,
and there you sit.
He was off stage by 8:30, and here we are, and it's like it's fucking 9:30, it's 10:30, it's 11.
That's crazy. That's just not being good to your fans.
I would say half the place got up and left, pretty much.
I mean, thank God now that at least he's coming on stage.
Sounds like a Yngwie Malmsteen concert.
On time, or at least pretty much on time.
Oh yeah, dead on time when I saw him.
Wow. You ever see him, BB, at all?
Oh no. I'm a virgin.
He's a virgin.
Guns N' Roses virgin.
Take him in the back.
Let's take him in the back. BC's gonna pop his cherry. Yeah. So, all right, we just wanted to kind of get a little general Guns N' Roses discussion going before we delved into our topic here. And like I said before, we're going to make a Guns N' Roses greatest hits album. It's going to be 10 songs, which I could have done. I could have had everybody do a longer list, like say pick 15 songs and 2 extra songs. But I really wanted everybody to dig deep and say, you know what, like. It's a tough. I mean, they don't have a ton of material, but I wanted everybody to just kind of dig deep and say, what can I put on this album? Because you can pretty much put. BC said it before we got on the air here. I'm just going to put Appetite for Destruction down and just a couple, like 1 or 2 songs for bonus tracks. I mean, you literally could do that. That album is so good, but I wanted to make everybody think a little bit as to what they were going to put there, because you could put most of Appetite for Destruction in a couple of the
Or Chinese
hits.
Democracy.
Yeah, or play the whole album like they did. So we are going to I'm not going to let Steven go first.
Wow.
I'm going to let Dylan go first.
Okay.
Dylan, give us your album name first. What did you call it?
Okay, so I called it Firearms and Flowers. No, I didn't actually call it that. I called it Slashes, Cash-ins, and Hits.
Slashes, Cashes, and Hits?
Cash-ins and Hits. Yeah.
Cash-ins and Hits.
Yeah,
Okay,
so,
that's cool.
So a little play on Kisses, Smashes, Thrashes, and Hits. So my first track, I figured everybody was going to open with Welcome to the Jungle or something of that ilk, so I decided to go with what I think is Guns N' Roses' most underrated opening track, Right Next Door to Hell, off of the first Use Your Illusion.
Good pick. Real good pick.
Yeah.
Yep.
Really love that song.
Real good one right out of the gate.
That's a punch in the face if ever I've had one.
It is.
Real quick, so we're going opening number to the last number then, right?
Yeah, and then you got 2 bonus tracks at the end.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
All right. That's cool. Really good song. Great album opener.
And it's funny thing about that song, back in MTV days, that song was written about his next door neighbor, who was pretty much a crazy bitch. And the report was that she came over one day, and him and her got some kind of altercation. He hit her with a beer bottle in a drumstick off of a chicken thing, and threw her keys off the balcony.
Jesus.
And then the cops said there wasn't enough evidence to actually prosecute him. So he was leaving that apartment, and MTV actually gave it away in a contest.
He'd be fucked if that happened now.
Oh my God, yeah.
And then he called Josh Hamel up from the Queens of the Stone Age, and they came in.
Good, solid pick. Steven, go ahead next, buddy.
All right, so my opening track for my album, which is appropriately titled "I'll Go On When I'm Damn Good and Ready." The opening track, "It's So Easy."
That's a good one.
Good start. Very good start. That's Appetite for Destruction. That I thought it was always a different sounding song on that album to all the other tracks on there. I mean, cool, but different.
It shows off. I mean, that's a Duff McKagan song, and it shows off Duff's punk influences. I mean, Duff is the one.
Yeah, he's
Duff
a big
is
punk
the
guy.
punk in the band.
Yeah.
You know, he's the guy that came from the punk background up in Seattle, and he brought that vibe with him to the band, and that's his song. "It's So Easy" is his song. And so, you know, it's what they open with in concert these days, I think.
All right, BC, what do you got? Give me your title.
Title I struggled with this week, but I'm gonna say it's Guns N' Roses, boozing, tattooing, and hits.
Okay,
Very simple.
Very
easy.
simple, right to the point.
But I have a feeling BC's not going to have very many hits on there.
Probably not. There hits to me, but
First track, Sweet Child of Mine.
Yeah.
First track, Welcome to the Jungle. No, I'm sorry.
Patience, right?
Patience. I forgot about that. No, the first one is Out to Get Me. I always like that song
Good song.
That is a good one.
Real good song.
because everybody's out to get me. So
Real good song. And that song kind of reminds
you're
me of
fucking
driving down
innocent.
the road. I don't know why.
it was like
Just like a driving track. It
I
just
love
seems
I love that riff.
that is a great song. Good pick, BC. And who we got next? We go around the horn here.
All right. My album name is Broken Axles and Slashed Tires.
That's cool.
I couldn't think of anything else, but that's what I came up with.
I really like that.
We're going to open up this album with a song from Chinese Democracy. It's called Riyadh and the Bedouins. There's heavy drums in it. Axl seems like he's singing for like Lynch Mob. It has like a Lynch Mob sound to it. Killer guitar riffs. It starts off like there's like wind and like laser beams and maybe like air horn, like air raid horns in it. You would have to give it a listen to to appreciate it to start off the album. But
It is good. It's a real good track. It's towards the end of the album.
yeah, I think it's like number 8 or 9.
Yeah, very good track.
Number 9.
Number 9. Good pick.
Number 9.
All right. Did anybody, before we go on any further, did anybody think about what their album cover would look like?
The original Appetite for Destruction album cover would be mine.
Yeah.
Oh, with the guy coming over the fence?
Yeah.
Before they banned it.
Before they banned it, yeah.
Before they
Okay.
banned
You give me any thought to yours, BC? Well, think about it as we go along here. Steven, how about you? Do you have any thought to that?
Yeah, I would like the chick with that's naked laying in the alleyway. Well, I thought that was the original cover to the Appetite for Destruction. What was that?
Yeah, that
It's
no,
a-
that
Yeah,
I
it
think
has that
was,
like
yeah.
flower with the teeth or whatever coming over the fence with that girl on the ground.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's definitely cool. Yes.
Okay.
I'm thinking towards like the lyrics of like Night Train. There's like a freight train, so I'm gonna have like a broken down big humongous 18-wheeler with slash tires and a broken axle and beer hanging out of it, and
And a train coming at it.
a train on the other side coming right at it on the track. So
All right.
Like
Great.
something like the Somewhere in Time, where like there's like references to each of the different songs. And
yeah, there you go. That's a good idea.
That's
you get
cool.
off the Night Train bottle flying through the air.
All right. My album is going to be called Get in the Ring, and it's going to be a boxing, like an old style, shitty, dirty gymnasium boxing club type boxing ring with the microphone hanging down into the ring and like a guitar in a slash guitar in the one ring corner and the Duff's bass in the other and the microphone hanging down and Guns N' Roses over the top of it in an arch and like just get in the ring under like on the bottom part of the ring. That's going to be my album and my album cover. And my opening song is going to be Anything Goes from Appetite for Destruction, which I think kind of, back in the day these guys were trailblazers for this type of music. And their album was so different from anything that was out there. And I think Anything Goes is the perfect track that kind of sets up the band for this album. And I really would have liked that song to be, if you had an alternate to Welcome to the Jungle, because that also kind of gets you like Welcome to their kind of world. But for my album, it's going to be Anything Goes for the opening track.
Nice.
It's a good one.
Yeah. Cool. See, once again, there's not a bad song on that.
No,
album.
there's not. And even the hits are good songs. But I don't know how many else this is going to be, but you're not going to see a lot of that from Get in the Ring. All right, we will go right back over to BC. Give us 2.
Number 2, I'm gonna go with the Reckless Life.
Off Lies.
Cool.
Originally off the EP.
But it was off the EP originally. Then it
put
was
it
on Lies.
Live Like a Suicide, was it?
Yes.
Yes, it was like.
Yeah.
And I actually had a cassette copy of that too, but that is long
I actually
gone.
had a vinyl of it.
Oh, really?
Where the hell is it now? God only knows. But I remember getting that, and it was like, I think it was a picture of Axl and Duff on the cover from a shot from playing live in a club. I don't know how the cassette was.
The cassette actually it was like a bootleg cassette that I had, so it wasn't really anything on
It
there.
was like it was like the songs, but Reckless Life. I'm drawing a blank on.
Reckless Life Moved to the City, I think, was
Moved to
on
the City was
there.
one of them.
Mama Kin.
Mama McKenzie's cover.
This one's for your fucking mother.
Yeah.
This one's about your fucking. But that was my very first experience.
Awesome.
Yeah, because my one buddy told me about Guns N' Roses, like maybe a year before Appetite for Destruction came out, and I was telling my friends about it, and they're like, never heard of them. And I said, well, you're going to. They're one band that I could actually say that I was in on the, so to speak, ground floor. I had actually heard them before, the majority of the world heard them, and they were like, you heard that, and you were like, these guys are different. These guys are gonna change shit up.
They're different. They look different.
Yeah, and they did. They did. Steven, give me your next pick, but give me how did you discover Guns N' Roses?
So a friend of mine that I grew up with his girlfriend was this surfer punk girl that was from California, and she had a handwritten cassette tape of Live Like a Suicide, and that was it. That was how I discovered Guns N' Roses. And in fact, the tape she had actually had the songs that are on it, but she even had like a couple of Cheap Trick covers and some other stuff that was on that tape as well. So that's how I discovered Guns N' Roses.
How about you, BC? How did you discover them?
Just a few of my friends started talking about this band from LA and stuff, because back then, about that time frame, was a lot of
throwaway shit.
Throwaway stuff was big then. 87 glamish was where everybody seemed to be going. You gotta check these guys out. They were
dirty,
they were
street.
Very, we say street compared to the rest of the bands were spandex and glam.
They were clean. They were cleaned up, dirty.
They were just like you found them in the back in a gutter, and here they are. Threw them on stage. And it was like whoa, and they sounded different. They had just
they were so different from what was out there. Definitely, Dylan.
I probably I don't have like a distinct memory of Guns N' Roses because they were basically like dust in the wind by the time I was like starting to listen to music.
They were
like like I would hear "Sweet Child of Mine" on the radio and "Welcome to the Jungle." So like it was all the hits that I started with, and of course like occasionally I'd hear some stuff from you playing, but it was mostly Appetite stuff that I would hear. And then I got really into them like in high school, and I was really excited because their latest album in like over 20 years was coming out right on my birthday, November 22nd, 2009, and it was the worst birthday present I've ever received in my life.
Yeah. Well, it was a good thing he bought it for himself, so he didn't have any bad memories from anyone else getting him a shitty present.
I think it was only available at Best Buy, and I went,
that's right.
I went on my birthday to Best Buy to get it, and I listened to it, and I'm like, oh, the opening track's pretty good. And then it just, I was like, no.
I think it was just so different and not what you expected, out of a 15 or 20 year effort. I think it was just so different. All right, I'm sorry. I apologize, Stephen, that we told you to do your pick and then we went around the table again just to bullshit. So, what's your next? What do you got?
It's fine. I just live in your world, I'm just renting out a little bit of space. You guys talk amongst yourselves.
That's your ADD, right?
My second track opens up with "It's So Easy" and goes straight into "Out to Get Me."
Okay, it's a good transition.
Great pick. That was that BC's first song?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So hey, it can't be a bad song if two people picked it. Awesome. Dylan, what do you got next?
My next track, following up "Right Next Door to Hell," is a song that always was my favorite. Well, one of my favorites off of Appetite, "Mr. Brownstone." Love how that song ends with the yowza. Like it's a classic song about that old black tar heroin.
That is, and that heavy riff in that song is just amazing. That's a song that you.
And the awesome Steven Adler like tribal drum kind of intro into it.
Yeah, but I mean, even for as much as you hear that song, because that's one of the more, not a hit, but a more popular Guns N' Roses song. It's the one that you don't mind hearing.
No, not at all.
A few times.
Nope.
All right, I will take the next pick, and my next pick will be "You're Crazy," the Appetite version. There's a slower acoustic type version on Lies. But I really like the fast cranking version. It's just so much better, and I think it has much more of a bite and a great riff on there just to, kick your ass. So I wanted to keep the momentum of the album going at this point.
Kicking your ass in the ring.
Hey, is somebody keeping track of how many times a song ends up on one of our records?
Dylan's going to keep track of that.
Where's Hollywood when you need him?
I know. He'd be punching that stuff in, and he'd have a printout first and send an email out and everything.
that dude would have had the album artwork already drawn up.
Oh,
Exactly,
definitely.
yes.
He'd have a grid with check marks, and he'd have a spreadsheet set up with all the songs and how long the songs were, and tell us how long our album was at the end.
I love it.
That's awesome. Sonny's great. All right, we got BB. What do you got next?
All right. My second song is going to be Night Train off of Appetite. Since I have a broken down tractor trailer with a train coming at it, song number 2, Night Train. That's actually Slash's favorite song to play live.
Yep.
Loves to dance to it, and it's one of BC's favorite topic songs about getting drunk. So, how can you go wrong with song number 2 out of the gate?
That's actually my favorite Guns N' Roses song as well. I love that song. I think that
It is.
I think
It does
has
have a
such
really
good-
catchy riff to it too, doesn't it?
Some of the best solos that Slash does are on that song, I think.
See, and once again, the Appetite just keeps coming up and up and up. I'm surprised Appetite never sold as many as like Back in Black did.
Or Michael Jackson's.
And that was just such a time back then. Like when you heard these guys, you're like,
It was.
because I remember hearing you guys all the hits first, and then so then when somebody buys it, and you're like, wow, do you hear it? It's so easy. You hear that one or Night
it first
Train
came
or
out,
you're like, boy,
It
I
was
hope
like-
they release these songs, and they never release them.
Yeah.
You know.
But I didn't give a shit about them releasing singles
No,
because I would just listen to the album anyways.
Right.
And it was good too to see them on that first tour because that was their base of songs, and you saw most of them live.
I have to, like you said, I didn't. What's the new song from this band? I mean,
No.
You heard who they are. You went out and got their album.
You got the album.
Listen to the whole goddamn album. I didn't wait for a single to come on the radio.
Yeah.
Right.
Steven, how about Night Train? What do you got on that? Anything good for us?
I love the song. I mean, I love all of Appetite, so it's just like you said, it's hard to go wrong with that. Night Train, however, I'll just give this away now. Night Train did not make my list. And, not because I don't love the song. They've just got a lot of songs, and I tried to spread the love around amongst all their records, and so something had to not make it. And
That was the method to my madness.
yeah, Night Train, I've heard it a lot, and yeah, it is what it is.
So you could pick up BB's version and just listen to his.
Well, exactly. And that and the fact that you gave me 2 hours to create a list, and this is the list that I created in 2 hours. Now, it may change in 2 hours. Who knows? But,
No pressure. No pressure. All right, Dylan, what do you got next?
My number 3 song, right after Mr. Brownstone, is a song that is also, I believe it was on Live Like a Suicide before it was on Lies, but Move Into the City. Yes. I think that's a
live version, or
I'm going with the live version because I love the ladies and gentlemen, the band.
The band. I was hoping you would say that because that is a great song.
I love that. It's it's got a cool bluesy feel to it, and it's just everybody's firing on all cylinders, and it sounds like they're having a lot of fun. And plus they have that the brass section that's backing them up. It's cool. It's kind of cool.
Right.
That has got it's got a cool saxophone, I don't know, solo, would you call it, and they're really good version. Anyone got anything on that song? BC, you've got to be familiar with that.
Oh, I got it. I mean, I liked it when it first came out. Going way back. I mean, because it was so different back then.
Right.
That was the big thing. I mean, I've said it once before. They were so different at that time. You're like, what did these guys go do next? What do you guys go do next? I mean, yeah, you just want to see what they're going to do. I mean, were they going to be alive, or because they looked like they were living on the streets.
Yeah, and when they did that tour, the Use Your Illusions tour, they had probably 20 people on the fucking stage. So that's a song that showcased the band. So good pick, Dylan. I was hoping someone would pick that. That was going to be one of my picks, but I was hoping Dylan would pick it, so that's why I didn't. BB, what do you got next?
My number 3 song, I'm going to slow it down. I'm going to be the total opposite of what Steve did. So I'm slowing it down, and my number 3 song is You're Crazy, but I'm going with the live version. The acoustic steel guitar, just bare balls, just Running You're Crazy.
Oh, we don't want any of them.
Oh, sorry.
Hey, put those away.
Yeah.
Still a good pick though. Still really good, solid song. And I was kind of a coin flip on that, but I like the Rockers. Steven, how about you? Which one would you pick out of those two?
Well, since you asked, Steve-O, You're Crazy
Thank you.
ends up on my list a little bit further down, and I can assure you it's not one with no pansy acoustic guitars in it.
BB takes one to the scrotum.
Yes. Steven, I think you're crazy.
Listen, have you guys not listened to Growin Up Rock at any point in time? How many times I got to say I don't like ballads?
Well, I asked you because I knew you were going to agree with me. That's why I asked you. Good job. Good job.
My co-partner Sonny, he's the ballad guy.
He is definitely the ballad guy. All right, Steven, since you're on a roll, go ahead. What's your next guy?
I'm going It's So Easy, Out to Get Me, and right into Brownstone.
Good pick. Good solid pick.
Brownstone probably, I know for a long time when Appetite first came out, Brownstone was probably my favorite song on that record for a long time. You know, I love that song.
I love the part in like towards the end where it's the and it goes right back into the riff. I just fucking love that part.
It just had such a thick groove and such a great just core rhythm section, and I love that song.
And speaking of rhythm section, I mean, I think Steven Adler is often really overlooked when it comes to the original lineup of Guns N' Roses, because he has a groove to those songs that I don't think Matt Sorum quite nails down. Like, there's just, I don't want to call it sloppiness, but there's like a looseness that really goes well with just the feel of the band that Matt Sorum's a little too tight of a player, I think.
Exactly. I know exactly.
Agreed.
I agree. The feel is there.
Steven Adler was Guns N' Roses. Nothing against Matt Sorum. He's more.
Right. He's in the pocket more for how the band plays.
Don't get me wrong. Back when Guns N' Roses came out, it was raw.
Those
street.
guys. It's those guys.
Oh, are we playing perfect?
We're all unknown guys.
We're on the stage.
We're all dirtbags, doing drugs and drinking and shit.
And having fun.
You know, and then Steven Adler unfortunately gets thrown out of Guns N' Roses for doing drugs. But
how the hell does that happen?
I know. And then, and Matt Sorum comes in, very solid drummer. He's already in an established band. He was the drummer for the Cult.
Cool.
But you're right, Dylan. Steven Adler had that more loose groove type thing. Very good job on that one. All right, who's next? I will go next. And so I had Anything Goes, then You're Crazy, and I'm going to go with my title track, Get in the Ring. Great song from Use Your Illusions 2, I believe. And I always love that song. And I think it would be interesting right now if Guns N' Roses did that one live. The part in the middle with, and that goes for you, Andy Setzer, and Hit Predator magazine or whatever he says. I would really be interested to see what kind of rap he would do now in the middle of that song. Who he would be, busted on. Because I remember when they used to play, when they played live, I think they did that show in Paris that they had the pay-per-view. They did the one song, and he was in a war of words with Warren Beatty or something. And he was bringing him up.
He was just jealous that Warren Beatty was with Madonna.
Yeah, it was some kind of bullshit. But it would be interesting just to see what he would say in the middle of that song nowadays. Even though what he says in the song is really cool,
Probably
fuck you, suck. He goes straight. He does kind of like a Zach Wilde rant about Fred Durst.
Fred Durst, right?
It's kind of that kind of thing. And I really like the that was a song that I think harkens back to Appetite for Destruction, just for the feel and the middle finger up in the air kind of feel to it. I know, BC, you're not down with any of that kind of vulgarity. I understand that.
Vulgarity and violence.
Down with
But BC, you're going to have to skip that song on mine because there is bad language in that one. BB, Get in the Ring. You familiar with that one?
Oh God, yeah, I remember that came out. That was a real funny song because him and that was it a I remember, was it was an ESPN or a hit parade? Who was the guy he kept going back and forth with? It was about a writer. It was a sports writer, wasn't it?
Let me look on the
I don't know.
Feuds with Axl Rhodes Wikipedia page.
I was gonna say that could be a long page.
That could be a.
Because he was gonna fight. He was gonna fight Vince Neil. Remember?
Yeah.
Anybody, Steven, you remember that?
Yep.
They were gonna do it. Weren't they gonna do like a pay-per-view boxing match or something? They had something they were gonna fight over or whatever. Who do you think could win?
Yeah, those guys were always bitching back and forth. Who would win an Axel and Vince fight?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's interesting.
I don't know. That'd be a loose.
That would, I don't know.
I mean, Axel's a big talker, I think.
Pretty sure they'd be
got that
like a
double
bunch
talking
of pansy girls slapping at each other.
I was just
Yeah.
gonna say that.
It'd be like a big slap fight.
Yeah.
Be like Jerry and Elaine fighting with one another, like two cats.
I can't see Vince Neil doing nothing good neither. So.
Yeah, I mean Vince would have the weight on him now. He'd kick his ass. I don't know. Actually, he puffed up a little bit.
Puffed up a little bit.
And who am I to fucking talk? All right. Well, Dylan's looking that up. BC, what do you got next?
I'm gonna go with some cover song of the Misfits, "Attitude."
Oh, Duff McKagan now.
Yes.
Give Duff some love. I guess
Good song.
What song did you pick?
"Attitude."
Off of what record is that?
Spaghetti, right?
Incident.
Spaghetti Incident. Okay. That's the one record. I'll be honest. That's the one record that I literally know nothing about.
It's all covers.
It's pretty much
Yeah, it's
all
all
covers.
cover songs.
Exactly.
It's good. It's good.
What year did that come out?
I have it written down here.
96?
Spaghetti Incident came out in November 23rd, 1993.
93, yeah.
And it was Bob Guccione Jr. from Spin Magazine.
Spin Magazine.
He was pissed off because his dad was getting more pussy than he was. That's what it says in the song. I'm just reading lyrics here. I'm not talking out of my ass. Attitude, good song, and that was a song that they did live too. They used to do that, and Duff used to sing it live. So we got one Duff vocal on the show today. Very very good pick, BC. Let's go to Dylan.
My next pick to follow up Move to the City is Perfect Crime.
Perfect
a song
Crime,
that I
goddamn
think
it.
is really underlooked. It's just like 2.5 minutes of pure adrenaline. It just goes front to back, and it's a really cool song. I think it's on the first Use Your Illusion.
It
as
is.
well.
It's on number one.
And I think it's often really really overlooked, and when it goes to Guns N' Roses' best, and I really like it.
Very good pick. Real short song. Perfect Crime. 2 minutes and 23 seconds, and that's another Izzy Stradlin co-written song with Slash and Axl.
Great song.
Great song. BC, what do you got on that?
Great song because I'm not going to say when it is. It's on my list too.
Okay.
It's
All right.
perfect.
Good pick. BB, who you got?
All right. Well, since we slowed it down with You're Crazy, we got to crank it back up, and you might as well put a little notch next to Right Next Door to Hell, Dylan, because that's my number 4 song.
Attaboy.
I like it.
That cool bass intro. It's
So good.
Reminds me of the Dylan and back in his days, kicking his bass around.
Could you imagine if my band played Right Next Door to Hell?
No, because your band turned out opening up for Lynch Mob and
And MSG.
And
that
MSG,
Was
so-
not, that was not my decision.
I had nothing to do with it.
I know. I was crying that
We're not.
day.
I mean, we weren't really the type of band to open
So
for
what?
Lynch Mob.
Who
And
gives a shit?
that's like when we were playing.
That's
like,
when you
all
come out like
acoustics.
Axl Rose goes, suck our dicks, we're fucking.
No, we're in the opposite direction. Of that.
Suck my dick, George Lynch. Suck dick, George Lynch, your bodybuilder arms.
But Dylan would have the
Fucking
concussion.
snap you like a twig. All right, we got another repeat pick. Steven, what do you got next?
So I go from Brownstone to Chinese Democracy.
Oh.
Number 4 pick is Chinese Democracy. So it's the one song that I really like off that record, actually.
It is that, and it was kind of a deceiving song because you're like, oh, this album's gonna kick ass until it
Not
doesn't.
so much.
It does. You have to listen.
I did listen to it. I did. There was. I'll show you my list later. I actually had four songs from Chinese Democracy that I wrote down that were possibles for my album.
I think if you go in,
I have 0.
I think if you go in there not knowing it's Guns N' Roses musically, I think it's really good.
It doesn't grab me.
It doesn't. I have to agree. It doesn't.
There are some good Guns N' Roses moments in there that you hear in a part in the song. You're like, wow, that is Guns N' Roses.
I mean, there's moments of clarity in A Bout of Dementia, but that doesn't make it amazing.
But
maybe that should have been the title of your album.
Moments of clarity in A Bout of Dementia.
Yeah.
It's my Dream Theater cover album.
Yeah, there you go.
write that down.
Good pick, though, Steven. I would say definitely the highlight of that album. Good pick. I'm next. Okay. And I'm going to slow it down, but I'm going to slow it down melodically. I picked this song because, number one, because it's a longer song, and number two, I picked it because the guitar work in it is just incredible. It's just incredible. It is not November Rain.
Well, it's hard to hold down.
It's Estranged.
Okay, that's a good one.
Very cool, atmospheric song. A long song. It's like 9 minutes and 23 seconds. But the guitar playing in that song is just fucking phenomenal. Anyone?
I like it. I think it's a really underrated song. I believe they've been playing it live as well, so that's really cool.
Yeah, they have.
But I always think that when it's compared to Civil War, like people always pick Civil War, but I think Estranged is a much better song, and I think it should have been more popular than it was.
Yeah,
I think so. And they had a cool video for that too. Their videos were kind of weird though, for some of them. Steven, what do you think?
I like that song in terms of the slower stuff. It's definitely a little moody. It's up and down and things like that. So I really started liking that song when I saw him play it live. Actually,
that's amazing how that happens, isn't it? You have a song that you don't really care for too much, and then, bam, you see him do it live, and then you love it. And one song that I could say that is definitely the case for that is, I was never a huge fan of Iron Maiden, Seventh Son of a Seventh Son. For some reason, that album never really grabbed me like Peace of Mind or Number of the Beast. But in the song, The Evil That Men Do, I always kind of was wishy-washy about that song. It was one of those songs you'd be like, oh, it's okay. But then we saw them at a concert near us, and I saw them do it live on the Brave New World tour, and it was just it totally turned around the song for me. Now I absolutely friggin' love it.
It's a good song.
So that's I could definitely sympathize with you for that reason. Definitely. All right, go ahead, BC.
My fourth is Night Train because, like I said, it's
all right. Night Train gets another pick on the list there, Dylan.
Because anybody ever drink Night Train?
I have not.
I have.
Yeah, I have.
I'm sure you have, BC.
I have.
Yep.
It was like
when I was a kid.
Yeah, it was
Is it like
a
Mad Dog?
kind of. It was like
Yep.
it was
A little bit.
It was $1.25 a bottle, so
Oh, okay.
we used to grab as much as we could.
Definitely in the budget.
It was definitely back then the budget was.
Well, that's why they have it in the song because it was so cheap.
Yeah, right.
But
BC, maybe grab a bottle or two for the next podcast.
I don't know what they even mean.
Let's. Hey, you know what? If they still make Night Train, we'll look for it. We'll
probably
taste
illegal.
test it on the next episode.
I could see
Hell,
it
I'm
being
drinking
illegal.
it right now. Damn it.
Hope he makes it through the rest of the episode.
Probably not.
I might as well go with my number 5 pick because it's also Night Train.
Okay.
Just thought I'd throw that out there, get it out of the way.
Anybody else have Night Train while we're at it here? BB?
I already had it at number 2.
Oh, you had it. Steven, that might be the winner for the night. We'll see.
Night Train's not on my list.
No, it's not on
Okay.
this list. Yeah,
Okay. Oh, was it? Okay.
yeah, because he said it before.
Oh, that's right. I'll go next. So after Estranged, I need to bring the tempo back up, and I am also going to pick a song from the Spaghetti Incident, and it is called "Down on the Farm." It's a song by the band. Never heard of them before. They're called the UK Subs. Whatever.
Of course.
but it's a really good. It's another one that actually I believe Duff sings. And real cool. It's a. I'm assuming they're a punk band because it's with Duff singing it. Very
Punky.
very cool, fast punk song. It's a shorty. It's 3 minutes and 29 seconds, but a very, very good song. And I'm sure, Steven, you said you're not familiar with that album. Anyone else familiar with that?
I've heard it. I heard it today. I listened to that album a couple times today. If it's the one I think of, it is a good little catchy tune. But like you said, it is punky.
Well, I know Axl definitely sings in the song, but I don't know. I think Duff sings a part of it, maybe. But it's
Which one of these songs on Spaghetti Incident was the Manson tune?
it's called Look at Your Game Girl.
It's almost the last one, like 11.
Oh no, I'm sorry. It's called I Don't Care About You.
Okay, yeah. Look at your game, girl. I don't care about you. Look at your game, girl.
Yeah,
I got it.
Yep.
That definitely sounds like a Charlie Manson.
Yeah, it sucks.
Tune.
I think it sucks.
Well, I mean, it's Manson.
I know.
It's not gonna be good.
Yeah, yeah. So, all right, we spent enough time on Charles Manson. Fuck him.
Couldn't even get Dennis
Burn in
Wilson
hell,
to be.
bitch. All right, Steven, go ahead next.
I'm coming out of Chinese Democracy, and I'm midway through the record, and I feel like I've slowed it down a little bit with Chinese Democracy, but
You
not
did a
really.
little, just a smidge.
Just a smidge, so it's time to pick it back up, and we're going to go right into Right Next Door to Hell.
Nice.
Another one for that one. All right,
It's a great song.
It is.
These songs are getting some love today. That is an awesome pick. I looked at that one, but I kind of knew Dylan was going to definitely pick that song because he's always said that he liked that song. Very cool.
And what a way to open that album, because it almost sounds like it should have been on Appetite. I thought.
Yeah, I can see that.
Definitely. BB, since you're so talkative, go ahead next,
Hey,
buddy.
all right. Number 5. Number 5. My favorite Guns N' Roses song. It's So Easy. I know we already talked about this. Duff wrote it. He said it. Axl said it's about hooking up with the roadies after the shows. So because they were so easy.
Does that mean he's hooking up with the roadies?
I guess all of them are.
All right. Good pick.
I think somebody already picked that too. I think
Good
somebody.
pick. BC.
That's funny because my number 5 pick is It's So Easy.
Stop copying off of me.
I had it down first.
Oh, okay. BC, you're so fucking easy.
That's so good.
All right. We're back around the rotation, so now we are halfway done.
Yep.
Unless you count the bonus tracks. Dylan, go ahead.
Okay, so I closed my my side A with Night Train. I feel like that's a really strong closer. Opening up my side B with the original side A opener, Welcome to the Jungle. I feel like that's a really good way to kick off the next track. Be the Back in Black for this Greatest Hits album. What more can you say? It was a lot of people's introduction to the band, and it just perfectly encapsulates what this band is in just one 4-minute song. It's a great song. And now there's a Jumanji movie that has the subtitle.
That's true. That's true.
It's gonna bring you down.
All right, BB, go ahead again, buddy.
All right. Number 6. Off your Use Your Losing 2, I'm picking Breakdown.
Wow.
That's a great Tom Petty song.
Yeah. And it's funny. It starts with a banjo. But then,
As all good songs do.
It's odd for a Guns N' Roses song because you listen to it and you immediately want to. When you hear that banjo, you immediately want to skip it. But once it ends, when the song kicks in, Slash, just a heavy guitar riff in the middle of it. It's a very oddball song for Guns N' Roses with the banjo. And I think I read somewhere he didn't know how to play a banjo, but he strung up a guitar with banjo strings, and he played it that way.
That's awesome.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
Well, that's different.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Definitely. Steven, who do you got?
So right now it's a good place for a ballad, but here's a spoiler alert.
Good job.
There actually are no ballads on my record.
Good call.
So we're going from Right Next Door to Hell into You're Fucking Crazy.
Another repeat, right?
Got some more love for that one.
Another love for that
And it's great. See, that's why I wanted only 10 songs. It's hard to pick, and it's amazing that we're picking a lot of the similar songs. Good job. BC.
Song I can relate to in my younger days. I used to love her off of Lies. but I had a killer. I'm not
She's buried right in your
Buried
backyard.
in my backyard.
Just don't tell anybody.
It's underneath the garage.
I always thought that was a cool song. I always did.
I mean, it's a little.
But it's not a ballad, though.
It's not a
Because
ballad.
it feels like they're making fun of songs like that with the lyrics.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
But
I had to put it.
And
she
it's,
bitched so much. She drove me nuts. I mean, how can you not like a song like
but
that?
that's a song you could actually picture those guys kind of just sitting in a room, hanging out,
Like,
having
just
some jack
singing.
and smoking some pot, and
Night train.
just kind of just banging that song
Slash
out.
and Izzy just, and then Axl just starts singing. And yeah, no, that's definitely a song that you could see them just coming up with in one drunken song recording session and being like, perfect. Let's
All right,
keep it
that's
as
good.
is.
That's one that. Okay, that's good enough.
Put it on there.
It's a jam song. It seems like they just jammed out to it. And it's songs like that Guns N' Roses really like has that rawness for. And even for an acoustic song, it's great.
Absolutely, Steven.
Is it my turn?
No, what do you think about this song?
We're commenting on this
Yes.
song. Yeah, it's a good tune. I like it. It was on my list, so I'm good.
Oh, cool. Okay. Who's next? BC. Oh, that was you just went, right?
Yes.
I didn't mark you down. Sorry. I guess it's my turn next. And I'm going to kick it up another notch that I think is one of Slash's best riffs, best performances, riff-wise and everything. And it's a song called
Don't Cry.
Locomotive, in parentheses, Complicity. And epic song, over 8 minutes. And it's the song that you actually hear the title of the albums. It says "Use Your Illusions" in the song, and it's just it's a great epic kick-ass solos through the whole song. Just an epic kick-ass rip your head off riff.
Yeah, definitely. I like how long it is. And then the riffs
like-
But
keep
it goes
going.
by quick.
Yeah.
I like the riff too. And, I mean,
I love like the bass break, like right at the beginning, like after the da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's so good. I love like Duff is amazing. I'm really happy he's back in the band.
Very cool, Steven.
Yeah, it's a cool break. I'm with Dylan. That bass break right there is very cool. I dig that song. It's definitely one that I like quite a bit.
Excellent. All right, Steven, you're talking. Go ahead next, my friend.
All right, so this is by far probably the most typical Guns N' Roses overplayed song, but I couldn't leave it off my list at the end of the day. I had to put Paradise City on my list, so we're going from You're So Crazy or You're Crazy into Paradise City.
Good pick, very good pick. And that's a song you can't go wrong with. Even like you said, even though it's maybe a tad overplayed, but it's definitely one of their quintessential songs, and I think it.
I think the closing parts of that song alone.
When you get that jam part at the
so
end, it's
good.
just phenomenal.
There's a really cool version of it on Slash's Live in Stoke, like where he was with Miles Kennedy. Like the last that part is so awesome. Like it's just straight. Just soloing and
right.
So
you don't
good.
mind that. I love when bands just do that.
No, you don't mind it at all. All right, BB.
All right, what we got? Number 7, and this is where I'm throwing in Mr. Brownstone. The heroin song.
Your favorite?
Yeah,
sure. A funny note about this one: Axl actually hates this song because back in the day, he's quoted for saying too many people in this organization are fucking dancing to Mr. Goddamn Brownstone. So I don't know who he was.
Oh yeah, he stormed off stage. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if he was throwing that at Steven for his heroin usage or what his riff was that night, but
But like,
That went out to all of the guys. That went out to Steven, to Izzy, to Slash, and to Duff. All 4 of those guys were doing H at one point in time.
oh, okay.
but like he's a liar in that song because he goes, show usually starts around 7. We go on stage around 9. Get on the bus around 11 instead of get off the bus around 11.
around 11. Go on stage around 2.
Yeah. He needs to change those lyrics. I mean, but worrying's a waste of his fucking time. So
Making people wait is not a waste of his time, apparently. All right, good pick. BC, what do you got?
I got to start calling some audibles here because
everybody's
hitting the same song.
I know. I've been kind of scratching out a couple songs here and there.
Punch us in the face, BC, because we're doing the best we can here.
That's what I'm saying. I'm calling it audible. I'm gonna go with
I'm sticking to my guns. I don't care.
BC's like he's like Peyton Manning. Omaha.
I'm gonna go with.
We're gonna call the audibles Omahas anymore. I'm gonna pull an Omaha.
Pull an Omaha here and go with 1 in a million from Live.
Oh wow.
Really?
See, that's what happens when you start pulling these audibles. You end up with a shitty record.
Hey, your pick's
lyrics.
your pick, but
Even without the controversial lyric in that song, I don't think it's that good.
I love the controversial.
I don't know if I wouldn't be on my list. I don't think.
all right. Your list is your list, so we'll read them all down through. So make sure you write down your Omahas as you're going through here, so you remember. Dylan, it's pretty safe to say that you won't have to put another X by that title.
No, absolutely not. I hope not.
That's going to be the Cheese Stands Alone
Yes,
song.
Absolutely.
All right, I'm going to go next, and I am going to pick, which is a song that's one of their more popular songs. It was a song on the Terminator's soundtrack, You Could Be Mine, which hit or not, you could call it a hit or not, but it's a great song.
Another great ending, too.
It has that really cool, faster lyrical part in it that I like that they do. And actually, there's another song on my list too that kind of does that also. But I really like that song, and it's great. Anyone?
Yeah, I love that song. I think it's that might be appearing on my list at some point. But like I said, I love how Axl ends songs sometimes. And I love like the little weird vocal thing he does at the end, and then he ends with the yeah. Like it's just like off the cuff. Like he probably did that one take just for fun, and they're like, that sounds cool. Let's keep it in. It's when Guns improvises that I think I really enjoy.
I like that you get that little extra studio whatever they do. They roll the tape till they're done.
Yeah.
Done.
Steven, what do you think?
I dig it. I love that song. That song will be making an appearance at some point down the road on my record.
All right, got to show some love. All right, excellent. And who we got? Dylan, we got you next.
So my next song to follow, Welcome to the Jungle. I used the first track off Welcome to the Jungle, and I'm going to use the last track, Rocket Queen.
Wow.
I love that song. I think it's a very underrated Guns N' Roses song. And it's a song I feel that gets buried by its placement. Everybody just thinks of, Sweet Child of Mine. Everybody's probably like, oh, Paradise City ends the album, but it's not even close to ending the album.
No.
It's like towards the middle, if not. But Rocket Queen, I think it's a great song.
Yeah, and Rocket Queen is a song that when Slash does his solo stuff, that's a song that I guess he gives some kind of cue to the band if he wants to really extend the song with soloing in the song.
That's cool.
And if you watch or listen to the Slash Live in Stoke, that's the song. You get the long version of that song on the live Slash album. Might be that one or the next live Slash album. I'm not sure which. There's two of them, right?
Yeah.
I'm not sure which one it actually is, but that's the song that he uses if he feels like it to showcase himself playing guitar.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so good pick, Dylan. Steven, you got any love for that one?
Oh, I'll go so far as to say I think that Rocket Queen may be one of the best all-time album closers around. I love that song. I think it's an amazing album closer. So I don't miss its placement in the record at all, in my opinion. I mean, because a lot of times you talk about some of the greatest all-time album closers. I've heard this conversation come up on some of the boards and in some of the chats at various times. You think about some of the all-time greatest album closers and start naming them. For me, Rocket Queen is one of those songs.
I absolutely love it, and it's like 2 songs in one, the way it kind of switches up.
I totally agree, and one of my songs on my album is going to be one of those type songs. BB?
I cannot say anything bad about it. It's going to show up in my list eventually at some point tonight.
Here it is. You're rocking.
It's my favorite. My favorite song off of Appetite.
Okay. All right, BB, since you're going, go ahead, buddy.
All right. Number 8, I'm going to slow it back down again. I'm going from Use Your Illusion 2. I'm going to go Civil War. I know there's a little bit more of the popular tunes. For some reason, I like it. It's catchy to me. And actually, it was recorded in 1990. So
Steven Adler plays on it.
Right. That's the only song on the 2 Illusions that Steven Adler plays on.
What we've got here is BB's failure to communicate.
To pick good songs for his greatest hits album.
It is a good song. It definitely did not make my list for the hit factor. But still good, though. Still good pick, Steven.
No, I do not enjoy that song very much. I'll be honest with you. I'm not a big fan of that song. When I heard that song, because wasn't that the first single release off that record?
Yes. Yep.
When I heard that, I started to feel a little bit like Dylan after he got past Chinese democracy on to the next.
He felt violated.
It just wasn't. I just don't dig that song that much. I mean, needless to say, it's not on my list, and it probably wouldn't even be in my top 15, most likely.
But Steven, what's so civil about war anyway?
Exactly.
I gotta agree with Steven. I first heard that, I was like, it turned me off. I mean,
I agree, but I will say it's better than 1 in a million. Sorry, BC.
I mean, listen, fellas, war is just good business, damn it.
It is good for the economy, absolutely. All right, BC, since we're busting your balls, go ahead next.
track number 8, I'm going to be Right Next Door to Hell.
Another one, wow. I think right now I'm officially the only one that doesn't have that on his album.
Cheese stands alone.
This cheese does stand alone on that song. And I didn't pick it because I knew Dylan was going to pick it, but I wasn't sure everybody else was going to pick it.
Good
But that's
song.
okay. That's all right.
I had troubles. I mean, the Illusion albums are by far not my favorite.
I say BC told me that. He said he had a tough time because there's...
But I wanted to spread it out, spread the love.
Spread the love.
And... well, since BC brought that up, what do you guys think? I think that they really could have had one kick-ass of an album instead of these two.
I agree.
Well, like it's the whole thing with double albums. They're always indulgent. You don't need that many songs. Like every single double album on the face of the planet, you can combine into one amazing album. Mm-hmm. Like this album, for instance. Load and Reload definitely could have been one great album.
I mean, Illusion 2, I was desperate to try to find something good on it. In my opinion, I'm sorry.
Really?
I found 2 songs I liked on 2.
Get on.
2 on 2.
Really? Steven, what's your thoughts there?
So this is where I'll plug my podcast. And
Okay, because I was hoping you would go there.
0 to 0 episode.
Yep. And I texted you about this.
Yeah, I said the exact same thing. I mean, it was an overindulgent moment for Guns N' Roses. They could have put one good album follow-up to Appetite together by taking songs from both those records and making one record. This list that we made tonight, I put one track on this list from Use Your Illusion 2. It was not my favorite of the 2 records. I thought Use Your Illusion 1 was a much better record. And so, yeah, I mean, it's just, yeah, that's about all I can say to that is there's a lot of filler on those 2 records for me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree. I just want I wanted to throw that out there because I know it's definitely an issue, I think, with pretty much every Guns N' Roses fan out there. With I'm sure there's an exception because you always get that person when there's a poll on Facebook or something. Do you like this one or that one? And there's always someone that puts, I like them all. I love them all. I hate that
Cop out.
person.
Which
If you do that, I hate you.
in Guns N' Roses, that's universally impossible.
Yeah.
Because you have the spaghetti incident and you have Chinese democracy.
Yeah.
So like you can't love them all. You're
that
a liar.
that just drives me out of my fucking mind when someone does that. You know, which Kiss album's your favorite? All of them. Bullshit. You lie.
If you're not willing to make a decision, just don't answer the post.
Right.
That's my simple
Right.
tip.
Like I said, I'm sorry if I insult anybody, but if you answer a question like that, I hate you.
It's fine, BC. You'll get over it.
I don't want to be here anymore.
All right. Who we got next? I will go next. And my next pick is going to be my sole pick from Chinese Democracy. I didn't want to, make it feel left out, And I put, actually, BB mentioned this song before. And it's called There Was a Time. Yeah. And it's, I don't know. It was kind of one of them songs. I had like 4 of them, and I kind of put them in a hat and just fucking picked one out, and that's the one I picked out. It's not bad. It's not great. Maybe I'll come back to that. Maybe I'll call an Omaha.
Yeah.
I don't think we need to discuss that any further.
No.
I'm going to come back to that one. I'm going to look for an audible. Who's next? Dylan, go ahead.
Well, hopefully my song is a little better than that. I'm keeping with Appetite for Destruction. I did Rocket Queen. I'm going right into My Michelle. Another song that I think is underrated. I love the time changes into the chorus, and I think the verses have like a really cool grindage to it, and it's a cool song.
Very cool song. Very, very cool song. One of my favorites from the album. You may hear about that later. All right. Give me 2 seconds. Let me look. I'm gonna erase that song.
What number are we on?
We are on 8.
I'm on my. Yeah, okay.
Right?
I'm on my number 8. I
we're
haven't
on
given
8.
my 8
Right.
yet.
We're on 8. You know what? I'm going to let someone go with their next pick, and I'm going to pick 2 in a row. We're going to just pretend
you
that there was a
erase
time
the
never
slate.
happened. I'm going to go all dark in here. I'm going to erase the slate.
Once again, Steve is making his own rules, so I'm going to go ahead and go next.
There's always got to be that guy, and I got to be that guy.
He's gonna have the whole album just be November Rain, top to
That's right. Steven, since you're calling me out, as usual, my friend,
Exactly.
go next, next, buddy.
I'm the only one keeping you in check, damn it.
Someone has to.
I'm going from Paradise City into Perfect Crime.
Yes.
Good pick. Very good pick. Perfect Crime, really good song. Another shorty, but that's one of the things. That's what. Made me totally lose my train of thought. Oh my God! Fucking me right
That's
up.
3 of us that have that on that list, right? Yeah, me, Steven, and DC have that.
What song was it?
Perfect Crime.
I didn't have a Perfect Crime.
I said 3 of us. Steven.
Oh,
Steven.
Steven, not
You're
Steve.
Steve.
Okay. You're Steve. Way to go,
You
Michael.
really threw him
got
off
me
there,
fucked up
Steven.
here. Maybe we'll call you Michael when you're on our show. So that won't.
Steve-O.
All right. My good pick though. Perfect Crime is freaking excellent. Really cool, fast rocker. Very good song. Anyone got any other love for that?
We already mentioned
Everybody
it.
talked about it.
Okay. Cool, good pick. I'm going to pick my Audible, my Omaha real quick here, and I'm going to pick Shotgun Blues.
Okay. That's a good one.
Right.
Shotgun Blues, and I have to say I am in total disagreement with BC and Steven. I think that Use Your Illusions 2 is the superior Illusion album.
It has a lot of long songs on it, though.
I love that shit. I love that shit. Because, like, the first one, I don't know, it's good, but I think there's more throwaway stuff on the first one.
I think there's no way. I tell you what. I think that in some future episode we go track by track on both those records and do a comparison and
We can battle.
have one
We
of
can
those, have one of those debates that you guys like to have every so often.
We could do that. We could do a GnR debate. Absolutely.
Illusion 1 or 2? Illusion 1.
Because
Which illusion do you want to use?
One's better. I think Coma's a
One
much
is-
better closing
one
track
rocks.
Yes.
than My
It
World.
does rock.
You
It
think
does
My
rock.
World is a better closing track than Coma?
Oh, definitely not. Definitely not. Definitely not. I think I I like more of the longer songs that are on that. I think that's my thing. Because even I look at the Iron Maiden songs that I like the longer songs.
2 puts me in a bad mood by opening up with Civil War.
Yeah. Okay, maybe I'll rethink that. I'll look at it. I'll consider it.
Yes,
But I think the songs that I like on Use Your Illusions 2, I like a lot more than I like the ones on Use Your Illusions 1.
You just really like knocking on Homer's door.
I don't. But I
like I said,
I don't know. But I like that better than Live and Let Die.
I have to agree. That sounds good.
That's
I'd
just
rather-
goes
I'd
through me.
rather
That's
Paul-
like fucking fingernails out of
I'll
chocolate.
take Paul McCartney over Bob Dylan any day.
I'm not going Paul McCartney to Bob Dylan because
Nothing to do with it. It's just the song. I don't know. I'm a diehard Lizzie Borden song. I mean,
And they do it too.
When they do it, it's like,
It is.
It kills me. It kills
That's a piss song, even if it's
okay.
Lizzie Borden or Guns N' Roses
doesn't
doing
matter
it.
who it is.
I think it's one of the best Bond themes, personally. But
All right.
now, are you doing your next pick? Since
Yeah, I will. Dustin Bones.
Dustin Bones.
I have to give.
What Use Your Illusion is that?
That's on the first one, but that's an Izzy Stradlin song, and that's one that he sings, which I really,
it's a good one.
I had to give Izzy some love. I had to give him some lyrical, singing wise. I had to give him some love. Dustin Bones, cool song. Anyone?
Cool song. Yeah, I like it a lot. I kind of missed that one.
Yeah, they made my list.
All right.
But
Steven?
I got tons out of them.
Because you're copying off of me and Steve. That's why I made your list.
You got Chinese, whatever the fuck that album.
Riyadh.
You got to go home and listen to that album.
He's got the Chinese spaghetti incident over there.
Technically, I don't think that's a Guns N' Roses album, if you ask me, because it's only Axl Rose.
Boys.
Think about it, though. I mean,
Let's go, BC. Me and you in the
Come on,
fucking
damn
ring.
it!
We're getting in the ring.
Steven's throwing the flag.
But I mean, there's Axl Rose and who? Who else from Guns N' Roses has been?
Dizzy Reed.
Keyboard player. Come on, people.
Who was not even.
I quit listening when Steven said that he liked Use Your Illusion 2 better than 1. I quit listening.
See, someone's always got to be the bad guy.
Steven went to the bathroom.
There needs to be a villain.
This is still coming from the guy that put Highway to Hell at like what?
Yeah,
Number
what
3.
Was that?
What was the ranking of that?
I gave it 50 negative songs, and I only gave this
Hey,
one 5.
I did the math. You know what I'll do?
I
You
think
know
you
what I will
forgot to
do?
carry the 2, though.
You know what I will do? I will do the same math on Use Your Illusions 1
Oh boy.
and Use Your Illusions 2 that I used for the AC/DC episode, and I'll see what I come up with.
Yeah, get back to us on that.
And I will.
It'll
I
be a
will.
tie.
I will come up with it. It might be.
Which tells us all that math is not your strong suit.
Oh, absolutely. All right. Now that we've gone on for 10 minutes, who's next?
Well, you
Who
said
picked
Steven.
last?
You said Steven before.
You
went
picked
into
that.
it.
I said, okay,
picked
Steven.
number
Go,
8.
I said, yeah. Go ahead, Steven.
All right, so coming out of Perfect Crime into You Could Be Mine.
Awesome pick. You cannot go wrong with that song. Have you seen this boy? Excellent pick. I would say even a good pick that I had too.
That was on your album, right?
Absolutely. BB, go ahead, buddy.
All right, my number 9. Well, since I got my balls busted for Civil War, number 9 is going to be the Barbie Von Grief song, Rocket Queen. Hopefully, I can get a little bit more love for Rocket Queen.
Absolutely.
That'll put one of your testicles back.
Thank you, Steven.
Just one.
Now it's funny. Here's a funny little John I heard about Rocket Queen. In the middle of the solo, when you hear that girl moaning, that is Adriana Smith, who was actually Steven Adler's girlfriend at the time, but Axl was banging her in the recording studio and recorded it.
I did hear
Yep,
it.
100% true.
Okay, good.
Sounds about right.
That's funny.
Cool. BC.
Great song. Or you want me to pick mine?
No, you can talk about this one.
I mean, it made my.
Made your list right early though, right?
No, I didn't use
You
it.
didn't use it yet. I used mine.
Oh, okay.
You use
Yeah,
his,
that's
so you use yours. I still got mine.
You're leaving your Rocket Queen in your
I
pocket.
need my queen.
His Rocket Queen and his Pocket Queen.
Grab onto his Rocket Queen.
All right, BC, what do you got next?
My number 9 is going to be Mr. Brownstone. Cause
Absolutely.
we've been dancing. I mean,
I'm
appetite.
fucking sick and tired of this fucking organization dancing to Mr. fucking goddamn Brownstone.
Damn it. I mean, to me, that was just an iconic album. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like I joked about it. And my greatest hits is that album, but other than "Sweet Child of Mine," I think it could be.
Yeah.
And nothing against that song. It's just that I think it's overplayed.
Yeah, it's very overplayed.
Definitely overplayed. All right, who we got next? Dylan, go ahead.
So my song, I have to give love to this song because it has one of my favorite artists co-singing it at times, and I think that's a giveaway to you about what song it is. It's off Use Your Illusion 1. It's The Garden. Featuring Alice Cooper.
Alice Cooper.
I have to give love to Alice because that's such a cool song to hear, like the back
cool.
and forth between Axl and Alice, and I think Alice meshes so well into that song.
He does. Almost as good as him with Dee Snider and Be Cruel to Your School.
Oh, I love that too.
There's the crickets of the night.
I actually like that song.
That's actually a pretty cool song.
It's like it got a rockabilly feel to it, like
does.
an old 50s.
It's all right. Yeah, it's all right.
50s too, right?
Yeah. Who are we up to? Are we up to me?
Well, does anybody like The Garden? Am I alone?
I'm sorry. The Garden's great. The Garden is excellent. And as Steven said, that's another song co-written by Wes Arkeen and a guy named Del James, who I'm not really sure who that is, and Axl Rose, but really good song. Alice Cooper on co-lyrics with it, if you will. Steven, what do you think?
I'm gonna take a pass on that one.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not one of my favorites on the record. I mean, I don't know. That's my problem with some of the material on both these records. Like, I just don't like it. I mean, I don't know any other way to say it. I'm just not a big fan of it.
I think that was written with Alice Cooper in mind. I think that song.
Yeah.
Just the way
here's the other
Alice
thing
has
is,
come in. I think it's just written for him. Go ahead.
I like some of Cooper, but I'm a casual Cooper fan, I would say.
Okay.
Well, it makes perfect sense then.
There you go.
Yeah, I like the combination, and you know, you put the guy from the '70s and the guy from the '80s together, it works. It works for me. I'm young. I'm younger than you guys. That's why I think it works for me.
Oh, I like it. I agree.
All right, cool. I'm going to go with another pick that we have before, and my number 9 pick is going to be My Michelle, which is great.
Everybody loves Michelle.
But BB's.
No, I have a different one though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Are you going to call in Omaha?
Nope.
Oh, okay. All right, so My Michelle is my next pick, and that gets us to 9. We all have one more to go before our bonus tracks. When we do our bonus tracks, we'll do them just both bang bang, and we'll be good with those. BB, what do you got? Number 10.
All right, I'm closing it out.
Closing your album out.
All right. Composed by Izzy Stradlin. Think About You from Appetite.
Good pick.
Closing the album out. Another great, underrated Appetite song.
Good pick. That was just outside of my picks.
Yeah, another good tune.
Yeah.
Like I said, you picked the whole goddamn album.
Yeah.
Right. Nice.
Steven, what do you think? Think About You.
I like that song, actually. I went back and forth a little bit as to whether it was going to make my list or not, but yeah. I dig the beginning of it. The cool little kind of, I don't know what kind of beginning you would call that, kind of a jammy, little groovy beginning thingy. I like it.
Good pick. Very good pick. And BC.
The song or my pick?
Song.
I'm gonna. Oh, you go on. Appetite.
I don't know if I would pick it as my closing song.
What song?
Though. I don't know.
Oh, I thought we were talking about his pick.
Oh.
Yeah. You said.
Oh,
his
okay. Yeah,
song.
I'm sorry. Yeah. BB's pick. I'm sorry. Dylan's gonna have a lot of editing today. Think About You.
I mean, as far as the closing song, maybe not, but I love the song.
Dylan?
No, I like the song. I just don't know if I would pick it as a,
You didn't say it was a closer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And Steven said he enjoys it. Like, a couple suspect picks for BC tonight, I'm going to say.
It was BB.
Oh, BB.
That was
It's those damn
both of you.
Jesus Christ.
It's usually I'm not to insult BC, but it's usually BC that gets jazzed. But I'm all fucked up tonight. I think it's Steven calling me out every fucking chance he gets. Kill me.
There's been too many people in this organization dancing with Mr. Brownstone.
That's right.
That's because he's drinking Night Train down there in Atlanta. All right, my closer for the album is going to be Coma. I absolutely
what
love.
What album is that off of?
It's the one that I'm going to do the math on. It's on Use Your Illusions 1. I absolutely love that song. I think it's really cool. It's got the the paramedic zap them again. You hear the the paddles hitting them. And just for everybody out there, they don't actually fucking sound like that. when they shock someone, they do not. It makes for good TV, but it's not actually how they sound. And but it's a great song. If you if you read the lyrics, it's about some dude that tried to off himself, and he's in a coma, and his family and friends want him back, and he's debating he's trying to get back or not trying to get back. It's a really cool song, but the music in it is great, and it has the that kind of part at the end where the lyrics get a little faster, and he's kind of spitting them out at the end. Really, really cool song.
Yeah, definitely a long song too. Right? That's another
10 minutes and 13 seconds.
That's another long
That's a
one.
very long
And like you touched on, as us guys, shocking people and that, and how you hear them in the background talking about it, and cool tune. Another underrated. Not many people know about that song.
Actually, they are doing it live on this tour.
Yeah.
They did it live on this tour. Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, which is but
I guess when you're doing 37 songs.
yeah, but it's a great song. Steven, what do you got for that song?
Yeah, so I like Coma better than Garden, but it's a really long song. I'm not a huge fan of really long songs.
I didn't think you were. You're not an epic kind of
No,
guy.
I'm not an epic kind of guy. Another thing that bugs me a little bit, or I don't know if bugs me is the right word, but the other thing that I struggle with is I consider myself kind of a really simplistic rock and roll guy. I mean, I don't necessarily love complex songs, which is kind of weird because I do love Rush, but
So you're not a
I'm
Dream
not a-
Theater fan.
yeah, I'm definitely not a Dream Theater fan. I mean, I respect all the musicianship and all that stuff, but I'm just like, I don't know. I don't like all the changes and everything. It just messes with me when I'm trying to get into a groove or something.
You want the meat and potatoes.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I hate to be that way, but it is what it is. It's my music. I get to choose what I like.
Absolutely. Very cool. Who we got next? Let's go to Steven.
All right,
Close it up.
I talked about it earlier. I'm going to close with it. I think it's one of the best all-time album closers, Rocket Queen.
Good pick.
It's a great pick.
Good pick, and we did discuss that song before. Very cool. Good showcase song for Slash. Excuse me. Excellent. Dylan, close it up.
My closing song we also talked about before. It's young Eddie Furlong riding with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and You Could Be Mine. It's a great song. I think it's a good closer to my greatest hits album. I feel like it builds up to such a high point, and then there's just that release of Axl with the hitting the high note, and then continuing it on until to just close the whole album out.
Absolutely. Good pick, and for one of their in quotations hits, it's just a great song. And even the video is really cool. They tie it in with the movie and everything.
Right,
It has some of the action scenes in there, and I think you even get the Arnold saying "Hasta la vista, baby" in the video, if I'm not mistaken. All right, we are through with our main album, so now we're gonna do the Japanese version. Oh, I'm sorry.
Today.
Am I missing BC again?
What are you doing tonight?
I'm sorry.
Steve, we can't have you on the show no more because you're screwing Steve right up.
All right, BC, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's not going to be no shock.
Yeah, I
You're
think
here,
you
my
marked down BC when you said BB about.
I did.
You did.
I think
yeah.
Dylan's gonna need to keep track of
Yeah,
this shit anymore.
Because I'm glad that you told me this now. Once we're finished, I feel like keep track.
I'm going to finish my album.
BC's on song 4.
Hopefully, this will be on the cutting room
Is it
floor
four?
here.
I'm gonna finish off my album like Guns N' Roses finished off their show in St. Louis back in 1991 with this song, which broke out into an old fucking hell riot. And like Steven, Rocket Queen.
Yeah.
During
Was that really that song
They were doing that song in St. Louis,
Yeah.
and
Axel decided to say fuck it?
Axel jumped off stage, punched the fan that had a camera, and then he walked off stage.
The band
And
tried
then
to
the
band
rest,
kept playing.
the rest of the band said, fuck it. They walked off stage, and the place just erupted into chaos.
Yeah.
Rocket Queen.
Rocket Queen. All right. Very cool. All right. So now what I was going to say before I fucking bone BC again, that's the end of our album. There's going to be the American version, and as we know, the Japanese version always gets the extra shit. So they're going to get the extra shit with us. But we love everybody, so everybody's going to get them. Bonus tracks. We're going to go around the horn here. We'll start with Steven. Just give them both and why. Steven, go ahead, buddy.
All right, so throughout the course of my record, you'll notice I didn't give any love to Lies, or the original EP that Guns N' Roses had, because I was specifically saving that for the bonus tracks. So my 2 bonus tracks are Reckless Life and Move to the City.
Good call.
Those are good.
Are you Lies version or live?
No, the live version.
Okay.
Sorry.
Excellent. Might as well give him a longer song, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
And those tunes just rock, and they were the original Guns N' Roses that I heard, and I thought it's a great way to close out this kick-ass rock and roll record.
Excellent. Okay.
Okay, so my 2 bonus tracks. The first one, I Used to Love Her. I think that's a really solid bonus track. And Locomotive is my second one to close the bonus tracks out. I think both of them, I do like Locomotive, and I would have put it on the main roster, but it just didn't quite make the cut.
Okay.
So I figured bonus track, and I Used to Love Her, I feel like is a quintessential pick for a bonus track.
Kind of gives you their little sense of humor there, too.
Yeah.
All right, cool. BC.
My last 2 would be Perfect Crime, and to finish it off with You Could Be Mine, because that's just that drums.
That is a great song.
I mean, it was borderline hit, I guess, for now, but...
Cool.
My 2 bonus tracks are going to be 2 live songs. Like Steven, I had Move to the City off of Lies and My Michelle from the Live Era album. So I figured since it was bonus, we're going to make it live. So there's my 2 songs.
Good picks. And I'm going to finish out my 2 bonus tracks with 2 live tracks. One's going to be a cover song, even though I'm not a huge fan of them doing cover songs. But the first one's going to be Bad Obsession live.
Wow.
Cool, I like that song.
And
Wait, hold on a second.
yes, it's on Use Your Illusions 1.
And we're building
Killing me. I was kind of hoping that would go unnoticed. Thanks, Dylan.
And you like 2 for what reason?
And I'm going to close mine out with the bonus track of the awesome AC/DC song that they've been doing live, and it's going to be from this tour. It's going to be a Whole Lotta Rosie live. With those guys doing it, which I will have to look up a version that I don't know if they do like a longer version of it where they really like rock the shit out of it. I mean, although whatever version of you're doing of Whole Lotta Rosie is rocking the shit out of it. So I'm gonna close it up with that, and that's our Guns N' Roses greatest hits albums, and I will post the album titles and the track listings for everybody. And as we mentioned when we did the iPod list episode, that if you guys sent in a playlist, we would play it, not play it on the air, I'm sorry, we would read them on the air, and we have one from Glenn Palmer, and BB's going to start off with that one.
All right, Mr. Palmer, thank you very much. I appreciate your idea and getting your list in here for us. Mr. Palmer's list, his iPod on his stranded island. He's going to have Layla by Eric Clapton, Strutter by Kiss.
From Kiss Alive.
Gray White, Once Bitten, Twice Shy. Jimi Hendrix, Star Spangled Banner. AC/DC, Thunderstruck. Black Sabbath, War Pigs. Alice Cooper, I'm 18. Leonard Skinner, Freebird. And the Rolling Stones, Can't Always Get What You Want. And his 2 bonus tracks are going to be from the Rolling Stones, The Dead Flowers, and Janis Joplin, Piece of My Heart.
All right, thank you, Glenn. We appreciate you sending in your list. And the next list I'm going to read is from Mark Arnold. And Mark sent me, he changed his list up, so we're going to read his final one that he sent us. Deuce from Kiss Alive, Motorhead Overnight Sensation, Black Sabbath Spiral Architect from the Reunion album, Guns N' Roses Mr. Brownstone from Live Era, Shinedown Second Chance, Cheap Trick, Surrender from Live from Budokan, Led Zeppelin Rock and Roll, Ozzy Osbourne, I Don't Know from Live at Budokan, Megadeth Hangar 18, Slayer Raining Blood from A Decade of Aggression. His bonus tracks are going to be Power Slave from Live After Death and Judas Priest Heading Out to the Highway from the Livin' After Midnight album. That's a compilation album that has a bunch of cool live stuff on it. And thank you, Mark. We appreciate you sending that one in. And our last list for the night is going to be from Adam Cox. And he's got quite an eclectic list that I wasn't familiar with a bunch of stuff on here, but I did check all of them out, and the stuff he put is really cool. The first one is Vampire in Ghost Town from Orden Ogan, Call to the Warrior from Affiance, Just Take My Heart from Mr. Big, Script from a Jester's Tear from Marillion, The Pragmatist from Crimson Star, which I actually will be posting that video because it is a really, really cool song. The Drop from Shauman, Many Too Many from Genesis, A Time for Leaving from Big Country, In Your Eyes from Peter Gabriel, and the bonus tracks are going to be Painted Black from the Stones, and Sitting on a Dock in the Bay from Otis Redding. You went a little old school on us on that last one there. And at this time, we are going to have our thank yous, and BB's going to start off.
All right, guys, thanks for interacting. Thanks for sharing us. Thanks for liking our stuff. I want to give a big shout out to Joe Mangieri, Glenn Palmer, Kim Quinn, Steve Patton, Bill Chavez, Pat Bass, Cindy Russick, Christina Epistolico, Michelle Serra, Aaron Mantell, Ken Keegan, Rob Webb, and Christopher Weiss.
All right, thanks, BB. And I got my thanks, as usual, to my wife, Corey, for putting up with us for this stuff. Dylan for doing an awesome job on the keyboards there. Mark Satorka, that does all of the music that we have during our show. The stuff for the hidden gems and the beginning and the outro. Mark did all that stuff. It was awesome. I want to thank Stephen Michael for coming on with us tonight and pinch hitting for us, and his partner, Sonny Pooney, on the Growin Up Rock Podcast. Rob Kelleher and Chris Granza that did the Kiss Cruise wrap-up episode with us last week. Joe Polo and Jody Havna from Podcast Rock City. David Hudson and Chris Craig from the Digital Killed the Radio Star podcast. Adam Cox and Mark Arnold for sending in their playlist. Also Glenn Palmer, the B mentioned. Jareth Grealish, Vincenzo Ianello, Ro J. Ash, Jen Roberts-Vena, Kaylin Provo, Heather Shakaris, Olif Cesnarski, I'm sorry, Olif if I absolutely butchered your name, and Mark Anthony K. And I want to congratulate Mark on the new Project Gemini album, A Brand New Day. It kicks ass. And we want to thank you guys for tuning in. We'll say goodbye real quick here. We'll go right around the horn. Steven, we'll let you plug all your stuff now. Give us what you got.
Hey, thanks, guys, for having me on. I appreciate it. It's always good talking rock and roll with you guys, no matter how much shit that I like to give Steve. It's all in fun. He knows that.
Oh, I know it.
But yeah, Growin Up Rock. You can check it out on all your podcast outlets, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, iTunes Store, Google Play, etc., etc. We've got some good episodes coming out with some special guests pretty soon, and we're getting ready for this Kiss Expo. So we're going to have lots of content that we're going to put out with leading up to that Vinnie Vincent Kiss Expo and then afterwards. So growinUprock.com, GrowinUprock, and Facebook and Twitter at growinUprock.com. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Stephen. And we will definitely have you on again, and hopefully we can do something in conjunction with your guys' podcast in the new year coming up. And if we don't see or hear from you in the before the new year, have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Yeah, same to you guys. We'll get you on Growin Up Rock soon for sure.
BB.
I don't care what anybody says. Chinese democracy is pretty good.
BC.
The hell with that bullshit. Have a good night, people.
Dylan.
I don't care what anyone says. Chinese democracy sucks.
All right, and I will say that thank you guys for tuning in, and I want to thank Steven again for coming on and pinch hitting for us tonight, and really coming through for us, and we had a great time. Check us out, share us, like our posts, like our podcast. Please share with your friends, family, everybody. You can find us on iTunes. If you can get on iTunes, give us a rating, a 5-star rating would be appreciated. We will read your name on the air and your rating if you do so. We have a Twitter account. Check us out there. YouTube, Castbox, Ear Peeler, anywhere pretty much that you can hear a podcast, you will find us. And I want to thank you guys. And just have a great week. Interact with us. Let us know what you guys think. Send us your Guns N' Roses greatest hits list. You get 10 songs. You get 2 bonus tracks. Let us know what you guys think. If there's a song that you think we're like totally insane off, if you're a huge fan of Yesterday's or something, let us know. Interact with us. Let us know what you guys think. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. We'll catch you again, and we will see you next time, and there will be a next time.